We are quickly approaching 1 year since the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. It's a day Congress was forced to temporarily halt the counting of 2020 Electoral College votes. That's as rioters forced their way in. KELOLAND's Sydney Thorson spoke with Representative Dusty Johnson as he recounts that dark day in American history.
When the assault happened on January 6, 2021, many people inside the Capitol were terrified. Representative Dusty Johnson says what he felt was anger.
Of course, I was upset to see, our nation's shrine to democracy, the U.S. Capitol. I mean, this is where we come together to solve problems, not through violence or through yelling or screaming, but through working together. To see that under attack, see that as part of a riot, that was hard to watch.
While Representative Johnson says he was not on the House floor when people flooded in, if he was even 4 minutes late heading to his office, he could have been in danger.
And you could see the police become overwhelmed. They lost control of the situation relatively quickly. And so we started to get word in our office that we needed to prepare.
Hundreds of people face charges for the attack, with investigations continuing. Representative Johnson believes there are still questions that need answers.
I think there are people who should have to answer for that. Why were we so underprepared on January 6th? Who made that call? And have they been fired? And the fact is that I know we've had lots of investigations, but we still are no closer to answering that question than we were a year ago. That is a damn shame.
However, he believes there is opportunity to learn.
We cannot continue to lurch from lawlessness to lawlessness in this country. If we don't learn from experiences like we had last year, shame on us.
In Rapid City, Sydney Thorson, KELOLAND News.
You can take a look at our previous coverage of the attack on the U.S. Capitol under this story on KELOLAND.com.
This November, you'll be voting whether to expand Medicaid in South Dakota. According to a survey by AARP, South Dakota, nearly 4 out of 5 people over the age of 50 support Medicaid expansion.
Kind of crossed all party lines, whether it's Democrat, Republican, Independent, they all support to a very high degree. We found 65% either likely or very likely, extremely likely to support Medicaid expansion.
The ballot measure to expand Medicaid eligibility in South Dakota will appear as Constitutional Amendment D on the November